So tell me your story. Tell me what led you here.
Right, that there is a look at a film locally produced, all put together, local actors, the whole 9 years, taking place here in Trinidad and Tobago, produced by a young lady that is sitting down here next to me, a very good friend of mine. She's quite the multifaceted person, and Lord knows what she's going to do to me. But Candice Lela is here with me this afternoon. She's the producer of that film that you just saw a clip of there, Positive and Pregnant. Candice, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, Conrad.
Tell me about this being your maiden production. Why this particular topic?
Positive and Pregnant. I had started research for Positive and Pregnant since 2007 when I started my own family.
Right.
I was just really concerned about what was out there for HIV positive women, what medication they could have taken to ensure that their baby is born free of the disease. Because I was just wondering what was out there, what information, and I began researching on my own, just Googling and going to the library, getting books, and just to figure out what was really available. My gynecologist, she became really concerned, wondering why this? She's, Candice, you shouldn't even worry about that. You're not in that situation. But it wasn't about me at all. You're just wondering, wanting to just give more, do more, and understand what people go through.
Yes.
Is what really sparked it. When I was about 16 years old, I had worked on a production called A Measure of Hope.
Right.
It was done by Kurt Pereira. So I was just a production assistant on that film. But that film really sparked the HIV advocacy for me, wanting to just do more and be consistent about reminding your friends and your loved ones to be tested for HIV, for just, getting that message out there and being consistent about it. It's like Jesus, stop tell people about it.
That's right.
So when we started that project, it just dawned on me, this is real people. This is their story. This is what they're going through. And that had stayed with me. And just always going to the HIV rallies, wearing your ribbon, talking about it. That was just me doing my part.
Right.
But when I started my own family now and wondering what's there for HIV positive women and trying to put myself in their shoes and figure out what is, what emotions do they go through. That time you're already so high in emotion, and a pregnant woman, HIV positive, the story couldn't come out of my head.
Yeah.
And I am just worrying and wondering, and everybody's like, why are you so worried about this?
Yes.
And that's how it started in 2007. And when my sister, Stacey Lela, she graduated from the University of the West Indies in 2007 with her BA in theater art. And then it dawned on me, we should do a documentary. She had done a documentary on Rapso music, which was highly acclaimed by the Rapso community.
Right.
And knowing that film is the best medium to captivate young audiences, I'm thinking, yeah, Stacey, we should do this. So I pitched the idea to her, and she's, how do you come up with these things here? And she liked it, and she told me we should apply for funding. And we started to just trying to figure out where we'd be able to get funding to do such a project. And about a week later, we saw an ad in the newspaper where the U.S. Embassy had a call for persons wanting to do community outreach projects on HIV and AIDS.
Well, there you go.
So I'm calling Stacey. My second child, he's just days old by this time. And she's like, study to breastfeed your child and don't worry about that now. And I'm like, no, this is the time. The deadline is so we have to do this now. And we sat down, we did the proposal, and she's breaking it to me gently. You may not get through it. Remember, it's how many people in Trinidad and Tobago going to apply for this. And she's saying...
How optimistic of her?
She was really optimistic, but always supportive. Not always optimistic, but always supportive.
Right.
But Stacey, she said, she tried to break me down gently. If you don't get through with this grant, we will get through. At some point, we will. In 2008, I had a huge file of all this information, and we started working on the script and the whole idea. What you're seeing here now, the docudrama, was not the original concept that we had for it.
Yeah.
We were just going in hardcore documentary,
Right.
facts.
What made the plan change?
My brother-in-law, Nyron Rawlingson, he had just come from France. He had just returned home from a tenure in France for just a short time. And we're sitting at my mother-in-law's house. We always meet there when we have impromptu meetings because that's Grand Central.
Right.
So Nyron is there overhearing our conversation and how we're going to utilize the funds and everything. And when he heard the concept, he's like, documentary? He's like, nobody going to look at that. He's like, you need to have a storyline. I'm like, I have so many stories. I have stories where I've interviewed people. There's stories online. There's stories everywhere. He's like, well, now we have to merge those stories and make it something where we could support it and say, this is our concept of the story. And the storyline just came. Stacey, Nyron and I, we sat down for a couple of weeks and put together the storyline. And we had about 5 cuts of the script.
Right.
The final script was vetted by the Ministry of, by Dr. Brian Moore from the Ministry of Health and Miss Anne-Marie Dufour. They looked at the script just to make sure that we were adhering to the PMTCT standards, which is the prevention of mother-to-child transmission of HIV, stands for PMTCT, that we were adhering to standards. We didn't want to just have something and the information is vague.
Yes, and
sketchy
and that kind of thing.
We wanted something factual, something that could, hold itself up. So they've had the script for us, and just little keywords and little minor adjustments. They fixed it up for us in terms of just those little things that we had overlooked.
Right.
And that's how the story was really born.
Okay.
And we had our casting call a couple of weeks later at Connect Limited.
In
Virtual, in Barataria.
Yes.
I had invited you to the premiere, I'm saying premiere now.
Yes,
jumping all the way forward, the audition.
Couldn't make it.
Yeah. I was hoping that you would have been on the panel with us.
Oh, okay.
But
Sorry.
The casting call was really good. We had
it seems like it turned out very well.
Yeah, it turned out really well. And we had the likes of Penelope Spencer come in, Larice Leasing, a lot of local reputable actors came in, but we wanted to have, as much as I had wanted to just say, give Penny, give Larice. They're already known, everyone knows these actors, but now you want something where we wanted to embody the real Trinidad cosmopolitan nation that we are, to show a diversity of our culture and have everybody in, something where you could see yourself in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you've certainly succeeded in doing that, just from what I've seen of the trailer. Tell me about, we have a little time before we go to the break, but tell me a little bit about the progress that Positive and Pregnant has made since.
Well, after our premiere, we premiered on the 29th of November at National Academy of Performing Arts, NAPA, and it was well attended. We had the Deputy Chief of Mission from the U.S. Embassy, David Wolf. He spoke, as well as the Honorable Minister of the People and Social Development, Dr. Ramadas Singh.
Yes.
He spoke as well. And Ministry of the People and Social Development, they hosted the premiere for us at NAPA.
Good.
And the U.S. Embassy, through PEPFAR, funded the documentary. So we were the mediator, to say.
Nice.
It was really well attended. I was so surprised at the turnout. It was my first gala affair like this. After the premiere, what had come out of it is what they were thinking. They wanted to see more of a male perspective on the story.
All right. So stick a pin. We're going to talk about that and more when we come back after this commercial break. Stay with us.
$10 free for the first $25 top-up of the month, you'll dance for that. Plus an extra $20 when you top up to $100 every month. You'll flip for that. That's over $20 million in free credit every month from B-Mobile. You'll get some back for that. Right, Marshall?
Hey, hold on to the big top up. Jump behind the big top up. B-Mobile have the big top up. Cut up this free top up. Who is there? $25 coming down. Biggest top up on a run. Everybody come and get it. Run. 20 million in free credit. Run. Follow the best value. Badam, badam. Hey, hold on to the big top up. Cut up this free top up.
Whenever I turn on my TV,
I check in on Gael first.
As I always find something relevant to me.
Gael make me laugh.
Gael does make me think. Gael does make me informed. Gael does make me conscious.
Boy, I honestly don't know what TV will be in the Caribbean.
Without Gael!
Gael, the channel.
Everybody watching.
Bring it.
Bring the love.
Love one another.
Your teammates, friends, family, and partners.
Bring the knowledge.
Get the facts about HIV.
At iliveup.com.
Know your status.
Get yourself tested.
It's the only way to know.
Bring the protection.
Play it safe in cricket and in life.
Protect yourself and protect others from HIV.
Bring the respect.
Respect yourself. Respect your partner.
Respect those living with HIV.
Love.
Protect.
Respect.
Bring it.
Think wise.
Live up.
.com here on Gael the Channel, brought to you by our friends at B-Mobile on this Wednesday afternoon. We are speaking to Candice Lela Rawlingson, who is a great many things. Well, before the break, we were speaking about her role as producer of the film Positive and Pregnant and the progress that said film is making. It's going to spawn something of a sequel.
Yes. So we've already started to write for the male perspective of Positive and Pregnant. We're not certain yet what the name of it is going to be.
Okay.
But we're hoping that the same actors would come back.
Okay.
And it's going to really highlight the male point of view of the story, but with a more focal point on stigma and the ending of stigma and discrimination. Because that was felt as if it was not really addressed and resolved in Positive and Pregnant, which we did intentionally because we wanted it to be able to, in our outreach programs that we plan for Positive and Pregnant, that we're going to go all over the country with, we're hoping that this now would spark questions. When you get people to ask a question, you get them to think.
Right.
You get them to react. Why the mother had to act this way? Why does the daughter had to keep it for so long from her mother? Why, so the whys, the hows, the what I would have done. We want to spark those questions. So we left it open-ended initially because we wanted to just spark those questions. And with the sequel now, with the male point of view, we're going to really tie in all those little loose ends that we had left open-ended with Positive and Pregnant.
All right. Tell me about viewership. Now, you were speaking before the break about the gala, and you have some very interesting news about where this is going to be shown in the near future. So, talk about that arc coming right back home, if it's ever coming back home.
It's coming back home.
Okay.
It's going to begin at home, actually.
Okay.
So, we're going to have our first outreach program, which is going to be hosted at Dallas by the U.S. Embassy, who's our executive producer. They're hosting our first outreach program on the 20th of November. We've invited a couple of schools to attend. My past school, El Dorado Senior Comprehensive, St. Francois Girls College, where my sister Stacy teaches,
Yes.
and a couple others. So the school's outreach program is, we're targeting the older students too, just to get that in, because a lot of people are concerned about the age group of the of our demographic. They don't want it to be shown to the under 14. So the over 14s, possibly.
Okay.
So our first program on the 20th of November at Nallis. Then we're going to have our community outreach program. We've already started to pilot areas where we're going to. We want to be able to go into all districts in Trinidad and Tobago to show the film. And what we're going to have is a discussion. It's an HIV sensitization lesson with a different twist. We want something that could uphold to our cultural context, something where people could know, okay, this is Trinidad and Tobago. Something where it really depicts us as a people. So the program is targeted toward young people, and it's really going to be, something to captivate them.
Yes.
That's the word I'm looking for, something to captivate young persons. So first we'll screen positive and pregnant, and then we'll have an HIV/AIDS sensitization lesson, and then a question and answer forum on PMTCT, which is the prevention of mother-to-child transmission of HIV, and other related matters about the film and about just HIV, other issues that may arise out of viewing the film.
All right.
So it's going to be different. It's not going to be where you see it on TV, you pass by, you switch the channel, and
like a regular public service announcement.
We don't want it to be a public service announcement.
It doesn't look like a public service announcement.
Exactly.
Which is perhaps the more poignant thing about it.
I agree. So we wanted to really have people in a box where, okay, you know what, you're seeing this, it's in your face, you have to deal with it.
Right.
You have to think about this at this point. And then ultimately now, getting an HIV test is what we want to get young people, older people, everyone in our country to really be sensitive about this. This is something that can happen to anyone, but you have to be mindful, be protective, and just be conscious of it. And when that is in our head, when we get that embedded in there, then I think now there'll be a more turnaround with ending stigma and discrimination that HIV positive people face. The end of the story, actually, Lorna Henry, she a public HIV advocate, she comes in and does the conclusion at the end of the story for us.
Okay. All right. And well, tell me about the viewership that Positive and Pregnant is going to be getting elsewhere.
Well, we've submitted to several international film festivals. We've already been officially accepted to New York International Film Festival.
All right.
And we'll be screened in New York and Los Angeles this year, in spring and in summer.
All right.
We've already submitted to Tribeca Film Festival, Caribbean Tales, as well Women's International Film Festival. That's in March, so that one may be the first we attend once we get through with it. So I'm just waiting and hoping that we would get into a couple of those.
All right.
And the most promising out of those, the Zanzibar Film Festival, Zanzibar International Film Festival, that one is the most promising. Not an official letter of acceptance yet, but sounding really promising. So I'm hoping to really, have our film shown around the world, and then we'll come around to the Caribbean where we'd go into the other islands. St. Vincent is really dear to my heart, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Right.
So we'll go into other islands of the Caribbean and show the film, but we want to really begin at home first and then be able to span out and get the story across the world.
Well, all right. Well, let's switch our philanthropical focus a little bit, because here it is, you've done Positive and Pregnant. You took up this mantle, and you've taken up yet another mantle by setting up the Walker Lela Foundation. Tell me about that.
Well, the Walker Lela Foundation, we had, my sisters, when I say we had always wanted to do something more for the women in our community. We're from a small area in Arima, and just wanting to do more, we said we would have done a women's empowerment group. It started off really simple, where we just had meetings with women and girls in our area, talk about different social issues, and then someone told me, you could do a lot more with this. So the Walker Lela Foundation, it was really born in my father's house, where, you know, we just sat down and had little one-on-one stuff with women, girls, and uplifted them. The work had started long before I had picked up the name Walker Lela Foundation and everything. It was started by my mother, who wasn't even aware of what she was doing at that time. She was a philanthropist and a teacher in our area, and really uplifted women and children in our community. She was well loved, and wanting to just do something more and have her, you know, her love for her community and her passion for life and everything live on.
Right.
We named the Walker Lela Foundation after her. Her name is Jennifer Claire Walker Lela, so we called it the Walker Lela Foundation. So even though Positive and Pregnant is on HIV, it's not just, that is not our major issue.
Right.
We deal with a lot of social issues that affect young women. Our mission really is to empower girls and women by providing case management, support services, basic skills education, resource coordination, and just different workshops to enhance the quality of life for women in Trinidad and Tobago and abroad. So that's how the Walker Lela Foundation was really born, and just wanting to give our women something to really uplift themselves, something to hold your head high for.
All right. For anybody who may be watching out there, give us some information on how they could contact the Walker Lela Foundation.
The Walker Lela Foundation, you can check us out at our website. It's walkerlelafoundation.com. Yes.
All
no,
right.
it's at Weebly.com. Weebley at Weebly.com. So you can view our trailer as well via our website. You can click from that website. It links directly to Positive and Pregnant, so you can see the trailer and everything on that website.
All right.
So the other one, you can always contact us via email. It's walkerlelafoundation@gmail.com.
Right.
And our phone number is 66. I'm forgetting my phone number. It's 720-7423 and 368-0884. Conrad, that's the things you do to me. You make me forget everything.
Nah, you can't blame me for that at all. And well, if there isn't enough, though we're running out of time quickly, you are in yet another capacity as the principal consultant in Fashionista Image and Project Management. Tell me quickly a little bit about
Fashionista Image and Project Management, it just started off where I was doing makeup and image consulting services for women. And really, the Walker Lela Foundation, it kind of spin off from Fashionista, just always doing stuff to enhance women's looks and wanting to do something from the inside, outside. So Fashionista is the more external part.
Okay.
So it deals with image consulting services. We do hair, makeup, nails, image consulting, and we're mobile. So we go directly to all our clients, or we can set up somewhere central where we can both meet. As well, the project management comes in with the events that we do as well. The last one I had worked on was the HIV World AIDS Day, actually, for the Ministry of the People and Social Development. My team and I, we coordinated that program, as well as a book launch for Catherine Williams. We've done different product launches, website launches. So we're coming in with the project management. So it really started with just image, and then the events came in later on.
Very busy woman. God bless Mr. Rawlingson. Thank you so much for joining us on the program,
Thank you so much.
Candice.
Thanks for having me, Conrad.
No problem. I'm sure you're going to be visiting us again because, we'll have that conversation later. Anyway, we have to go and take a little break, and we'll come right back and talk more about local film.